Brady, and welcome to the Low Life Podcast. First off this week, I'd like to thank everybody who checked it out, listened, gave advice, shared it, whatever you did. Really appreciate it. It's dope. I'm really excited to be doing this. I was kind of nervous, wasn't sure where it was gonna go, but I'm gonna keep doing it. It doesn't, I'm not doing it because I want money or views or listens or whatever. Just do it because it's fun, and if people dig it, then they dig it, and that's what's up. So, like I said, thanks to the friends and family and anybody who shared it, checked it out, recommended it, gave me feedback. I really appreciate it. So that's cool. But this week I'm gonna start off with giving some. I say a shout out, but I guess kind of gonna mention some local shows here in Oklahoma City for you. So if you're here in Oklahoma City and you don't know a whole lot about local shows or don't go to local shows or just haven't been paying attention, excuse me. Um, I could mention this show. It's literally tomorrow or maybe today when you're hearing this. So I don't know how much time that gives you to prepare for this, but there is a show tomorrow slash today, August 22nd at 89th Street, and that's a venue here in the city, in Oklahoma City, and it is with a band called Filth, Victims, Agony, and All Seems Lost, and that starts at 6 p.m. And what's the other one I was gonna mention? Well, oh yeah, our friend Kayla. Shout out to Kayla. She books shows here in the city. She has a company she books shows under and stuff, and she's doing her I think third annual fest for it. It's September 29th at 89th Street. She's only announced one band on it, but be on the lookout. I'm sure she's gonna announce some dope bands. She always does her festivals. Last year was a ton of fun. I helped her with it a little bit because I used to book shows and do that kind of stuff. Done a couple festivals myself. Not easy, it's hard work. So shout out to her, shout out to Agape, and go check that shit out. And then what did Brennan mention? Oh yeah, so my buddy Brennan, shout out to you, love you kid. He is doing a showcase show as well at a venue here in the city we call the Dojo, but it's literally a karate school that we have shows at. It's actually really fucking cool. So I suggest checking that shit out. It's called the Dojo Showcase #1. Fucking dude, so many good bands on this show. So many Texas bands. We got some Colorado bands, Oklahoma bands. It's just a solid mix of we got rap, hardcore, like fucking melodic hardcore, fucking just heavy ass shit, man. It's fucking cool. Go check it out. That'll be a lot of fun, and it's literally like $5. So why would you not go see like 10 bands for $5? Because that's a fucking steal of a deal. But also lots of friends, homies, good times. Go check it out. Uh, and also, when it comes to shows, this is not a local show, not a shout out, but my dad actually told me to mention this show, and I forgot about it because we're going. But coming up pretty soon here in the city at the Diamond Ballroom is Bullet for My Valentine, and you're probably thinking, why the hell are you mentioning that? Like nobody's excited for that. And actually, I am. I fucking love Bullet for My Valentine, dude. I have been listening to that band since I was in the 8th grade. That was like the band that got me into metal, into metalcore, into this whole alternative genres of music that I didn't even know about. Like that band and Atreyu are the reason I listen to bands, the reason I go to shows, the reason I played music. Like Dude, don't need man, Bullet for My Valentine is so good. You don't even need to listen to their new stuff. You don't even like you can literally listen to the first album and you don't need anything else. That album is literally perfection, and it's really funny because I have so many friends on Facebook and places that literally say the same thing. They will mention it so like a couple times like a month about how solid The Poison by Bullet for My Valentine is. Like dude, it's just so good. It's just a perfect mix of like heavy and like emo and like melodic like together. Just man, dude, every time. Like I remember listening to that when like the ninth grade, maybe the eighth grade for the first time, just like stunned by how good this album and it holds up. Like it doesn't even sound dated. It's so good. And then their next album, Screaming Fire, that album's a banger too. Like it might have changed a little bit, but man, so good. So if you don't know who Bullet for My Valentine is and you're in the alternative music scene or metal scene or whatever, and you haven't heard Tears Don't Fall at least once, man, you're really sleeping because such a solid band. Oh, they're so good. Their new stuff, I'm not super into. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. I've listened to it, but it is man, nothing will beat that first album. Like literally nothing at all. So good. Show. I'm reading. Sorry, reading my notes here on what to talk about. Let's see. Okay, so I mentioned all the shows. Bullet for My Valentine's amazing. Also, 2 days after Bullet for My Valentine here in the city is freaking Fall Out Boy and MGK, which you'd say to yourself, that's not a show I'm gonna go to. But I guess that I am because I guess my parents got like a 4 pack of tickets for like a family, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's a surprise for my sister. Hope you're not listening to this podcast. I doubt you are, but if you are, sorry I ruined the surprise, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna get to see Fall Out Boy, which I've always wanted to see Fall Out Boy. From Under the Cork Tree is one of my top 10 favorite albums like ever. I love that album. I literally like play drums to the songs and stuff. Like I fucking love that album. And the next two after that, Infinity on High and A Folie à Deux, are like just incredible, incredible like masterpieces. And you know, it's just super cool to see them now. They put out albums after those that I don't really care about, and I'm sure they'll play a lot of that stuff, which is fine. But it'd still be really cool even if they play only a couple songs from Under the Cork Tree. It'll still be just like it's a bucket list band. You know, it's like sure you don't like any of their stuff now, and they're mainstream, and they're not a pop punk band or even a punk band like they originally started out, but like it'd still be really cool to see them, and I'm sure with how big they are that the live performance is like nuts, and I'm sure there's gonna be fireworks and all kinds of crazy shit. Unfortunately, I have to sit through like a full set of MGK, which sorry if you're an MGK fan, but like I know like maybe 2 songs, and I don't think that he's bad. It's just I have to sit through like maybe an hour to like a 45 minutes to an hour of MGK who I'm not there for. So that'll be interesting, I guess. Hopefully not too bad, but I mean, I can't really complain. I'm not paying for it, but still. And I got really mad reading Facebook the other day because one of my favorite pop punk bands of all time, State Champs, is playing like a select few dates on this tour. And it's not here in Oklahoma City, which bums me out because I would get so stoked to see State Champs because I haven't got to see them yet. And then to see them open for Fall Out Boy would just be fucking amazing. Like, dude, that would just be like the killer show. Like MGK is like whatever, but seeing those two bands together would be amazing. And also, State Champs is freaking opening for Blink 182 on some of these shows too. And I'm like, yo, like Blink 182. Oh my god, dude, so good. It'd be so dope to see like those bands together. Fall Out Boy and State Champs, or Blink 182 and State Champs. But I don't even think Blink 182 is coming here on this tour. so that's cool. But I'm pretty sure they were here not that long ago. But anyway, enough about all these shows coming and stuff. So yeah, if you're looking for shows to go to, or just, you know, I don't know, don't know a whole lot about the music scene, I definitely check it out. The Oklahoma City music scene is it's pretty interesting right now. There's a lot going on, and it's really changed. Even over after the last 2 years that I've like stopped booking, it's really changed. We get a lot of got a love from surrounding states like Texas and Colorado and stuff. Like a lot of their scenes really support our scene, which is really cool. We have a lot of those bands come play here, whether it be hardcore or pop punk or whatever. It's just really cool to see a lot of support. The scene's still really weird on certain genres. Like we don't even have like a pop punk scene here hardly at all anymore. Like there's way more indie rock alternative bands than there are pop punk. Like nobody's really playing that here anymore. And that's not to say that nobody's playing it at all, but like I don't know, I don't see those bands or those shows like ever hyped or announced or talked about at all, so I just kind of assume they're not there, but that could be me just being ignorant. I don't really know. I play I pay pretty close attention to what's going on around, especially at all the venues and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with pop punk. If you're in a pop punk band, I'm sorry. If you're looking for shows, hit me up. I can tell you where to go, who to talk to, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. The Oklahoma City music scene, man, it's a weird scene, and it depends on, I guess. It's very clicky. I mean, it depends on what genre scene you're a part of. There's metalcore scene, hardcore scene, pop punk, indie scene. There's a lot of crossover. There are a lot of people who like one who also like the other and go to both. And I'm definitely one of those people. I love the metalcore shows, but I love the hardcore shows, and my hardcore family and some of the people involved with that scene are just really really awesome people. And then I like going to sad boy indie shows, indie rock shows too. I mean, they're all really cool in their own way. And I'm thankful to live in a city that even has a big enough a music scene as we do, because there are some places that just probably have nothing, or people who live in small towns who have to drive an hour, a couple hours to go see some of their favorite bands. So I'm really thankful to live in a city where we get big shows or even some of the smaller tours. It's really cool, and I couldn't imagine having to drive 2 hours every time one of my favorite bands. Like, not that 2 hours or 3 hours is that far, but like to not have to drive but like 30 minutes to go see one of your favorite bands is cool. And Oklahoma City is a really cool town, man. Like, just was pretty appreciative of where I live, I guess. I hear a lot of people down talk Oklahoma or Oklahoma City, and it bums me out, man, because Oklahoma in general is a really cool state. I know I hear so many people, I can't wait to leave this place, and I mean, why? It's learn about your state, explore your state, visit things that you've never been to. You're just at home at your house all the time, so Oklahoma sucks. Well, yeah, because you don't do anything. Go out and do, explore, see the things. There's so much to do around here if you open your eyes, man. Sorry, I'm on a tangent about Oklahoma, but I love my home, man, and I think you I think you could too if you gave it a chance, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that's a lot of shit about Oklahoma and our music scene and music and stuff. I guess I could go on to car stuff, because I guess some of you probably come here for that. I don't know. I don't know why you're here. Maybe you just like listening to me talk for 30 minutes. Who knows? I don't. So I recently just got something in the mail, put on my car part. I kind of half mentioned it in the last podcast, but I talked about getting a $20 parts and getting excited, but I got in that $20 part, and it's called a Tsurikawa, I believe. I'm probably saying that wrong, but what it looks like to me. Tsurikawa, or in English terms, it's a Japanese train handle, and you're thinking, why the fuck would you put a train handle on your car? Well, one, it looks really cool, and it just, I don't know, it just added to my interior of my car. But two, there's like a lot of history behind these things, and you're like, what? Why was putting a Japanese like subway train handle on your car? Well, how could there be history? But the website's called JDM Tsurikawas. I went and they had history on their website, so I read about it, and it actually goes back to like the 70s. Like these people would, like these gangs, motorcycle gangs, would steal the train handles off of the subway trains and attach them to their cars or their motorcycles as kind of like a act of, you know, rebellion. Look at us, look what we did. We stole something. And in Japan, that's a pretty big deal compared to America. Like the government and the laws and everything is so much stricter there. And in Japan, like people follow the rules, they follow the laws. They don't tend to break out of the norm. So I think that that's really, really interesting. And I guess it just kind of became this trend that people would steal these things and put them on their cars, and kind of became a status symbol. And I guess it's just a trend that's never really died because they're still selling them and making them. Like this is specifically, you know, made for cars, and it's a really cool thing. Like JD, like Japanese culture, like car culture, is just so incredibly interesting to me. Like I really, really want to go to Japan because like like, well, at least the scene that I'm involved in, the import car scene or the stanced car scene, like it comes straight from Japan. Like the style and the mods and everything are like, this is where it started, and like I would just love to go there and visit and like kind of see how the car scene is there and all these places that it started at, and like drive some of these crazy mountain roads where people race and drift, and like just it's just so cool to me. I just want to experience at least once in my life. So man, so yeah, look up a Surikawa, or you can just probably type in JDM train handle. Look them up. They're cool. They come in different shapes, colors. It just adds a little bit of coolness to your interior. I installed mine last night. I freaking love it. I've already taken pictures and stuff like that. So super cool. Go look them up if you want some nice, like, tasteful mod to your car. It does come from Japan, like, legitimately ships from there. It only took me like a week and a day to get it, and I had free shipping, so that was actually really impressive to me that it only took like a week to get here. Because usually when you order things from other countries, it takes 1,000 years. But quick shipping, they're really responsive to you on Instagram too. They will tag you in their stuff and like your stuff and comment on your stuff, so that's really cool. So yeah, check out that brand, JDM Tsurikawas. Yeah. So anyway, back to, I guess I could keep talking about JDM culture. Like those people are so passionate about their cars, and like just it's so unique to, like, I mean, America is has our own car culture, but we're kind of a whole big mix now between import cars and American cars and the classic drag racing kind of style. But JDM culture is just like it's its own thing, man. It just stands out from everywhere else. And I just love it. It's fucking cool. Like JDM cars, import cars have always been my favorite cars. Like I've always loved Honda, Toyota, Lexus, Nissan. You know, car like they're just so many iconic cars that came from there, especially in the '90s. Man, if we want to talk about Japan in the '90s, there are some cars that some monster cars that are just so iconic and classic now that like Skylines and Supras and Type Rs and NSXs. Man, there's just so many cars that come from Japan that like I could have a whole garage of 50 cars that were just Japanese cars before I even jump into any other brands from any other countries, man. Like, and I plan on it. I plan on having a garage full of cars. Maybe not 50, but you know, a lot. because just cars are everything, man. Especially Japanese cars. I really want a lot of stuff. Too many to name probably, but that's okay. Let's see. Trying not to sit here and say like 1,000 times. Um, since I'm giving shout outs to people in the music scene, I don't know if you'll hear this, but my buddy Victor, he is involved in the stance import scene. Want to give him a shout out for always just working hard in the scene. One, he always has the most beautiful builds you'll ever see. Like the lowest, stanciest car you'll see in the city, it's him, guaranteed. He does a lot of work for a lot of homies when it comes to alignments and wheel mounting and stuff like that. So shout out to you if you need your wheels mounted or stretched or your car balanced and it's low or slammed or bagged or something like that. Hit him up, Victor, at Pet Boys here in Oklahoma City. He kills it. He's dope. He's a homie. And tell him I sent you, and he'll be like, "What?" And he won't know why. But either way, yeah, he's dope. Uh, yeah. Well, that was 10 seconds of silence. How awkward is that? Well, I think that's going to be it for today. I thought this podcast was maybe make it to the 30-minute mark, but I didn't have too many topics to talk about. I feel like I'm missing a topic though. And I probably am. Now I feel bad. I think oh yeah, my homie Jonathan told me to talk about all the subgenres of metal. I think I could talk about that for a while, but like I feel like that needs to be like at least a 10 or 15-minute topic. And I would kind of like to bring somebody in to talk on that topic with somebody, maybe you yourself, Jonathan, if you want. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, like I get said, thank everybody for listening last week, sharing it, recommending whatever you did. I appreciate it. Um, it's just going to be going up on YouTube for now. I've been looking into iTunes, just trying to learn what all the requirements are and what RSS feeds are and all that stuff. So once I kind of work out those bugs, I will definitely try to get it on the iTunes podcast app. First, I got to be able to submit it, and then after that, hopefully they will approve it or whatever. And also, if you noticed at the beginning of the episode, there is a different intro song. I used a song from a band called Expire last time, and they copyrighted my video or whatever. They didn't take it down, but if that video was to make money, they'd take it because that's a band that's signed or whatever. So this week I used a local band called Sledge from here in Oklahoma City, and they are so heavy and so good. And if you haven't heard of that band, I highly recommend you check them out. They're dope. They're just so stupid heavy, dude. Like seriously. And one of those few shows I mentioned, I think they're playing. So definitely come check them out. If not, they're always playing shows and touring. So yep, definitely check that band out. But anyway, my name's Brady. This has been the Low Life Podcast. Peace.